All In, to me, is one of the most important events of all time. Now that's a big statement. The wrestling business has been around for so long, and to call this relatively new event, which started in 2018 and is only now getting a sequel, one of the biggest of all time, is a massive statement. But I truly believe it. You look at the significance of each of these events, and they have both changed the wrestling world. Welcome to the Wrestling Universe channel. My name is Cosk, and today we are going to talk about the importance of All In. The story of the first All In starts with a tweet. Dave Meltzer tweeted that, being asked if Ring of Honor will ever sell 10,000 tickets. Dave Meltzer dismisses it. No, a company hasn't sold 10,000 tickets in North America outside of the WWE since WCW. TNA has never done it. Ring of Honor has never done it. No major promotion in America outside of the WWE has managed to do it. Cody Rhodes takes exception to this. A top star in Ring of Honor and a member of the Elite back then, Cody Rhodes makes a bet with Dave Meltzer and says he will personally make sure Ring of Honor sells those 10,000 tickets. And that's when the dream begins. That's when All In begins. All In is announced, and the world is really shaken by it. It's promoted as the biggest independent show in wrestling history. Big names like The Elite, Kazuchika Okada, and others are announced for this show. Tessa Blanchard, too, a controversial name, but at the time was a major name in women's wrestling. We saw top names being announced for the show left and right. But speculation at the time was still, they don't have a Bryan Danielson. They don't have a CM Punk. They need these names to sell out those 10,000 tickets. TNA never did it with the likes of Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. So Ring of Honor, quote unquote Ring of Honor, as it was more of an elite venture, isn't going to be able to do it without major stars. And the Elite are major stars. Okada is a major star. And you do have major stars from New Japan and Ring of Honor, and even Impact, but there's still a lot of unknowns on these shows. There's still a lot of names who have never really made it. Like, for example, MJF, who was a star in MLW, a mid-carder in MLW, but he wasn't very known. And a lot of these guys on this card were in the same boat. You had your kind of top stars like Nick Aldis, Cody Rhodes, Kota Ibushi, Rey Mysterio. You had top stars, Bandido. But it didn't feel like enough. Until they did sell those 10,000 tickets. In an insane amount of time, they sold those tickets. I don't remember the exact time, but I believe it was 30 minutes to an hour that they sold those tickets. And that is when the wrestling world realized not only were the Elite bigger draws than people thought, but there was a genuine market for a second wrestling promotion, a major promotion outside of the WWE. And that's when Tony Khan got the idea for All Elite Wrestling. If All In, the first All In, never happened, we might have never gotten AEW. Wrestling history would have changed forever. This was the biggest independent show in wrestling history. This changed the wrestling world. And I would argue All In 2 in London is going to be doing the same thing, if not more. So far we've established that All In 1 was a massive success. It was huge for the names involved. It shows there's a market for wrestling outside of the WWE in the US. And it changed the wrestling world, because without it, we might not even have the likes of AEW. But now we're going to move on to All In 2, and why I think this is an even bigger show. Not just bigger show in the sense that it's a bigger company, it's a bigger building, but I believe the ripple effect of All In 2 is going to change wrestling as we know it. So, All In 2, Wembley Stadium. This is going to be the biggest show in wrestling history, attendance-wise. I don't know the exact figures, but it's up there. It's top 5, top 10 for sure. Some are saying it's the biggest. I don't personally know, but like, it's huge, right? Like, keep in mind, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about how nobody thought a wrestling company outside of the WWE could sell out 10,000 tickets. Now we're talking about the company going abroad and selling out 80,000 tickets. That is huge. That's mind-blowing. The developments that we've made in the past few years because of All In, directly because of All In, which is all because of a tweet someone sent at Dave Meltzer. So to think that this ripple effect also because of a tweet is also mind-blowing. But nonetheless, All In 2 for Wembley, Ring of Honor was bought out, so the trademark is owned by Tony Khan. He announced it for London. It was a surprise until he announced the building, which again, Wembley freaking Stadium. This is going to be huge, and it's a similar card to, except with bigger stars, because they're just a company now under it. It's not just Ring of Honor and New Japan and Impact giving names. This is a major company, bigger than any of those companies in the US. They have bigger stars in the Western world than any of those guys. So, bigger stars, similar match types. I've seen people tweet like, they're doing the women's 4-way again. They're doing a 6-man tag with top stars. They're doing a lot of the same thing, like, just with bigger names now, because it's a bigger company. And this show, in my opinion, is going to change the wrestling world. Because if you're mainstream media and you're seeing this, you're seeing AEW sell out 80,000 tickets, then people get ideas. I feel like this could lead to maybe another major promotion starting up. Maybe even in the UK, as this shows that there's a market in the UK. We had the World of Sport attempt to start up, but NXT UK, and I believe some bad business decisions killed that straight away. But if another company were to attempt to start it up, especially with all the new NXT UK free agents from the massive firings a few months ago when NXT Europe was announced and put on delay, then I believe that Europe could have a major wrestling promotion due to this event. I believe wrestling companies, and we've seen this already, but the UK will become a major spot. I think we will get a WrestleMania at a Wembley Stadium in the next few years. I believe we're going to go to the UK more and more often. I believe a wrestling company will be based outside of the UK. And it will be at the levels of WWE or AEW. These are just predictions. And they may seem ambitious, but keep in mind, if I predicted everything that happened after the first All In, you would have called me crazy. And now, we're taking that, except bigger, better. Huge ripple effects could happen over the wrestling world. We're already seeing that in John Cena teasing a WrestleMania at Wembley Stadium. In everything we've seen so far, this is AEW's biggest success story. This could have huge effects over the wrestling world, and I am excited to see what's next. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Cosk. Have a good day.